I want to get your thoughts on what we often hear from Hollywood celebrities. I mean, often there's a lot of Trump derangement syndrome when we hear from woke Hollywood lefties, and a lot of political opinions, many using social media or if they're accepting an award to promote a message such as Free Palestine. Yet many celebrities seem to be silent about what's happening in Sudan and Nigeria with Christians being slaughtered, Ollie.
Yeah, I mean, when Trump actually brokered the Gaza peace deal, you had pretty much crickets and silence from Hollywood celebrities and TDS sufferers like Rosie O'Donnell, Cynthia Nixon, all these people that are obsessed with talking about Trump. Suddenly they're silent when he actually brokers the deal to get the hostages out. So that kind of speaks volumes. And then the fact that there's no Hollywood celebrities speaking up about what's going on in Sudan, what's going on in Nigeria, with the only exception being Nicki Minaj, who has been very outspoken about this. President Trump actually praised her on Truth Social. And, she has received a lot of praise from Christians for speaking up for those in Nigeria. But she's also received backlash from the kind of liberals that are the TDS sufferers. But President Trump is the only person that has actually said that he is considering taking action in Nigeria to fix this. He's warned the Nigerian government to take action against persecution, the burning of churches, the slaughtering of Christians. So it does speak volumes when you have people like Rosie O'Donnell, who literally devotes her life. She fled the US, and all day, every day, she's making 10-minute TikToks bashing Trump. Yet she's silent on the fact that he was able to broker the ceasefire deal. She doesn't give him credit. And she's silent on, of course, what's going on in Sudan, what's going on in Nigeria. And like I said, Nicki Minaj is pretty much the only celebrity that's actually spoken up.
That's right, and credit to Nicki Minaj, but as you say, one of the only celebrities that's actually speaking out about this. Look, Ollie, before I let you go, I want to talk to you about the issue of women's safety, which seems to be still a fight in America, a fight here in Australia. American singer Tish Hyman has been in the headlines after confronting a biological man who repeatedly entered a women's locker room at her LA gym, and the singer then raised this with a California state senator at a town hall meeting, and just look at how this conversation went.
Senator Winner, as the only black lesbian here, can I please ask you a question, because I flew here to do that? Yeah. Okay. As a lesbian woman who was attacked in a woman's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir? Please tell me.
Yeah, so we want, everyone to be safe. And we also know that, we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women.
I mean, the conversation continues, but it's just so backwards. I mean, it's a serious issue when it comes to women's safety. Women are being let down.
Yeah, I mean, this brave woman, Tish Hyman, was at a Gold's Gym in Beverly Hills, and she was horrified when she was undressing in the locker room, and this biological male that identifies as a woman walked in. And she actually confronted him, and she was clearly very upset in the video. And, they had an altercation, and, she has been very outspoken about this. The transgender male actually went on TMZ Live and said he has a right to go in the women's locker room because he's felt this way for his whole life. But, it's wrong. And Senator Scott Wiener has been behind pushing very radical left LGBTQI laws in the California State Senate that are very much anti-women. So he's, the last person that's going to really listen to what she's saying and help. But good on her for speaking up and trying to get this message across, because, it does take guts for a woman to speak up, especially with the backlash from trans activists and the targeting from them. So, good on her for speaking up.
100%. Ollie London, author and media personality, thank you so much for joining us on Power Hour and speaking to us about your experience in Israel. We really appreciate it.
Real pleasure. Thank you.